Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another quarantine with Dre Otis. And this week we have a guest host in here, Miss Katrina Lewis, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hurricane Katrina. I am the host and business owner of Beautifully Flawed LLC and Beautifully Flawed Podcast Show. Thanks for having me in on today. I appreciate the invitation.
No problem at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess you all are trying to figure out who this nice, well-dressed man is in his background. So I'm going to introduce him. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Honorable Detroit City Councilman of District 2, Mr. Roy McAllister. How you doing tonight, sir?
Brother Dre, I'm blessed to be here. Thank you so much. And Miss Hurricane Katrina,
Yes.
it is a pleasure to be here with you.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to be on this honorable show with you guys.
So I'm going to talk about a few topics real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how every week I get on here and try to rag on Donald Trump as much as I can.
Okay.
So Barron Trump, his son, has caught the coronavirus. That's a problem to me. You got people out here that really want to talk about electing somebody that can't protect their family, who willfully did not protect his family. When you're talking about this as a person that you're going to elect to run a country for 4 years, knowing that he really thinks this thing is a joke,
Right.
knowing that he's caught it, he gave it to his wife, he gave it to his son. My problem with that is nobody knows how this thing is going to carry on in your body going forward.
Yeah.
So with him having a child that he gave it to, what happens in a couple of years? This kid dies out of nowhere and they say, oh, this is complications from that.
Yeah.
But he gets elected again, 2 years down the line, his son is dead. How do you explain that to America? How do the people that are his friends that almost died, like Christie, I don't know if you know about that, what's it,
New
Jeff
Jersey?
Christie? Yeah, a former New Jersey mayor.
Yeah.
He caught it.
Oh, wow.
Now he's out there saying I made the most mistake in the world by going to that event, not masking up, not doing what the CDC said. So now you have friends of mine that I've potentially affected because I was the super spreader that almost died. So now they're going out saying, wait a minute, that's my boy, but he wrong. It's 2 left feet. You know, but this is the man that people want.
Man.
36 states are now rising in numbers.
Man.
You
Isn't
got
Detroit one of them?
Michigan is. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that. We were up 2015 today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
'Cause the other
Confirmed
day
cases.
I thought it was like 1,500.
We've been on the rise.
Oh, my goodness.
We're going back up. So I mean,
Stay home, people. Please
I
stay
mean,
home.
we can say that, but you got people that are mad at the governor because
Yeah.
she was doing what she needed to do.
That's true.
We have people that wanted to kidnap the governor
That's upsetting.
because she did what she thought she had to do. Militias out there.
Yeah.
And for us to think that they got everybody, I hope we not that stupid, people.
Please
If
don't be.
they had a whole
Please
plan
don't be.
to kidnap the governor of Michigan, take over the state capital,
Yes.
kidnap the governor of Virginia, I believe it was.
Yeah.
There's more out there. So don't believe that we got everybody, because if you believe that, I'm going to wake up and be Jesus tomorrow.
Oh.
And I hope none of y'all believe that. That's a damn lie. I just don't understand it. But Lindsey Graham, in a debate this week, said that if black people in South Carolina want to walk around freely, they have to be conservative.
Really?
So what does that tell you about your senator, Lindsey Graham, longtime Southerner? This is what he believes in. This is why he's so hard up for Donald Trump, number 45, the guy that just is the man right now. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to hold y'all up. We got a beautiful young lady in here, and she's going to get that spot tonight. So tonight we're going to call it the Katrina spot. So I'm gonna,
Oh, my God.
hey, it's 8:05. I got to give it
Oh,
to
it's
you.
my spot?
It's all on you.
All right. Well, like I said, I am the host of the Beautifully Flawed Podcast Show, and we talk about what's going on in today's world, especially within the black community. We talk about topics that people don't want to touch, that they're afraid to talk about among the community, among their friends. So the slogan is a no judgment free zone. We don't judge anybody. You can say what you feel, how you please, but modestly, So we're all about the people, I am starting my first annual giveaway.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I shouldn't put this out here because I know people are watching, but I'm going to be giving a grocery giveaway. I'm going to be paying a couple bills, giving away gas cards, I am. It's coming out of my own pocket.
I'm just looking because I might want to apply. I need some money.
Well, the thing is, it's going to be certain questions I'm going to ask. So
Okay.
no close family, no close friends can participate. So that's the thing. It can't be because that's unfair. It has to be fair. It has to be totally fair.
I understand.
So, and then we're going to have caller of the day, It'll be the 10th caller. So we're going to see how that goes. So I want to give back to the community. I want people to know that it is someone out here that care for you guys. Because a lot of people feel like they don't, especially in this day and age. But I want them to know that Katrina from Beautifully Flawed cares for you.
You are a millennial, correct?
I'm sorry?
Millennial, correct?
No, I'm not.
What are you? you older than a millennial?
Yep. I'm a baby boomer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the shenanigans are real in here because she is not a baby boomer. Wow, you really gonna do that one?
Yeah, it's like, no, I am.
Yeah. So again, she's a millennial. So for those of us that say that us millennials are wild, well, some of us are. I'm not going to say that all of us are sane. A lot of us probably need Ward McAllister's District 2 Mental Health Task Force. I just want to plug that in real quick. A lot of us probably need to show up to that event. It's going to be bi-weekly, led by one of our new staff mates, Miss Susan Gardner. Just want to put that out there. So if you need some mental health advice, come on in. We accept you here. We do what we got to do.
Yes. Well, wait, I got to tell them. Please follow my page at Beautifully Flawed Podcast, and you can follow me at 7mileradio.com. Every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. I go live. So please tune in. You definitely won't be disappointed. I can guarantee you will not be disappointed, people. That's for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching The Quarantine on WJZZ Cool TV. You can catch us on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and all top social media platforms. And thank you, Miss Katrina, for again coming again and helping me out tonight.
I appreciate me though. I appreciate it.
For you all that do want to know, Miss Rosalind is out. She did suffer family loss, and I want to send my love and prayers out to her family. A tough situation right now, and I will be with that family this weekend. So please, if you can, wrap your arms around them, pray for them. They're going through something right now. This is 2020. It's been a very tough year, and this is just more things added to the plate. But we gonna get through. We gonna survive. Love y'all, and you in my prayers.
Yes, condolences gonna send out. Condolences, and prayers, definitely.
Also, I want to send out a shout out to Miss Maria Dickerson from Green Acres. Yeah. She lost her husband this past week. So again, anybody that's losing people this year, sick, whatever it is, I send you my love and prayers because 2020, it's been a monster, but it's coming to an end. We still here, so. Those of us are still here. Let's keep praying, keep going, and keep thriving, and just pray for a better future. With that being said, I don't want to keep holding it up, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably going to be one of the biggest people I have on the show this year, and hopefully he comes back again. But I think this is one of my first elected officials.
Okay.
So thank you.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Detroit City Councilman Roy McAllister Jr. How you doing tonight, sir?
Again, Brother Dre, I'm blessed, and I'd like to give honor to God who's ahead of my life for allowing me to be here amongst you, some good folks like yourself. And, yes, I am the city councilman for District 2. District 2 goes from 8 Mile to Davis and Southfield to John R. It covers zip codes 48203, 48221, 48227, 48238, 48235, and I have 8 blocks in 48219. And so therefore we kind of covering some territory. And the other thing about District 2 is the highest voting district and the highest tax-paying district in the city of Detroit. Okay. So, you know, and it's a very versatile because I have those from the high end, which would be like Sherwood Forest, to the middle, which is those folks that are in the Bagley, College Park, Green Acres, Greenwich Park, those areas there, to the low end, to those folks who know about the Fitzgerald area, Puritan area. So it is a very diverse district, and therefore I have to make sure that I look out for the concerns and issues of all three.
Okay. Nice. I want to open up the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. 313-355-6018. You know the rules. You call in talking crazy, I'm going to talk crazy back to you. So please don't do it. Don't embarrass me in front of my boss. Oh, this is my boss, y'all. You know, it's a little deeper than that. I love this man. Yeah, I'm just leave it like that because I don't want to get emotional on my show. Y'all know me. I'm trying to be tough all the time. So
I have some tissue for you if you need it.
He's actually...
Ladies and gentlemen, I ain't playing. What were you about to say something, sir?
I also claim him as my son because he's the future, and I look at a lot of things that he's doing, so I claim him as my son also.
That's good.
So, yeah, we're going to move off this emotional roller coaster. Who is Councilman Roy McAllister? Tell us a little about you, sir.
Well, grew up in the city of Detroit. I graduated from Detroit McKenzie High School. Got my bachelor's degree from Eastern Michigan University. My master's degree from University of Oklahoma. I'm retired from the Detroit Police Department. I used to be the former commanding officer of Detroit Homicide Section. I also retired from the military. I ran the 5 northern provinces of Iraq. And also been involved with the federal defenders. I was the investigator there. So I see a lot of people say, oh, well, you just see it on one side. No, I see it on both sides because the years that I spent on the Detroit Police Department and the years with the Federal Defender's Office allows me to look at things from both sides, as well as, you know, the military is about serving so people can have the rights and freedoms to do the things that they're doing today. So that's, you know, mainly what I'm about. You know, I have my wife, who's Dr. Polly McAllister. We've been married 28 years. I have 2 granddaughters, and I just got a new grandson on September the 5th. Yeah, so cool. You know, life is good, and the main thing that I try to do is bring folks together, you know, and each group has their own concerns. Yes, you know, I have the President's Roundtable, President Community Roundtable. That brings the communities together. I have the Millennial Roundtable where we talk to millennials, that new group that's coming up that's going to be taken over. I also have a Business Roundtable that I'm working on. So my objective is to bring the District 2 together, so that we will be that powerful entity. When folks come in, they will say, okay, we're going to District 2. You got to have your business together because we just can't just be walking in there half-stepping. Right. So it's about bringing everybody together. But it's also about making people self-sustaining, because a lot of times we go out and we try to help people, and we help people. Yes, but then it's like that old saying, you know, I can fish for you, but if I teach you how to fish, then you can go on forever and ever. So that's what I'm trying to do, just make people self-sustaining so they can be able to stand up, know where to go, and know how to help themselves.
So out of everything you could have possibly done, why City Council? What was it about City Council that attracted you to want to run for that position?
That has been since 1988. In 1988, the Urban League came here, and I was head of security for then the President, John E. Jacob. And during that time, the convention was here, and I was going around, and then I happened to meet the city council people at that time, which was Irma Henderson, Mary Ann Mahaffey, Nicholas Hood, okay. Those folks. And then I was so impressed as to how they really loved the citizens of Detroit, and they really was going out there fighting for the citizens of Detroit. And then you also talking about that was during the Coleman Young era. So I stated that once I retired from the Detroit Police Department, that's what I wanted to do and finish my career. Now, I have been running since 2005, and I just missed it in 2017. God said, okay, now's your time. Okay. So that's awesome. One thing I want to say is, when there's something in your heart, be persistent with it. Don't just give up on it. because there was a lot of people when I started running out in 2005, and I think one of the most notable people is Council President Brenda Jones and City Clerk Janice Winfrey, because we all ran together and we was out there giving out each other's literature and walking for each other. Fortunately, they happened to make it, and I kept going and I kept going. Now I'm along here with them. So
that's all right. I like that. That's very encouraging. That's so encouraging.
Yes, thank you.
That's pushing me to keep forward.
Thank you. Bring that hurricane on.
You know it.
Yes, keep it on going. There you go.
I am.
So, because of your military background, how do you feel about the current climate state nationally with the current president and the administration that we have?
And you know, that's a very excellent question, Dre, because when you've been in the military and you see how people are around the world, and you see when you got people like Xing in China, when you got Jong-un in North Korea, and mainly when you have somebody like Putin, who the president, for one reason or another, just continues to be supportive of this individual. These are the individuals that have always had this objective as to taking over the United States.
Right.
And so therefore, you know, being a military person, and you hear a lot of military people will say this, there have been military people that was on President Trump's staff that left because of that, because they looked at the overview of how this man was really not interested in the United States carrying on. And I'm a little disappointed with the Republicans because they're also falling into that same regime. So it's not about the country, but it's more about that side, the Republican side. It's about Trump. And, you know, my concern is when you talk about people that are looking to vote, that's why I said we have to get out and vote and remove this man, because I'm very, very concerned that if he gets back in, one, I truly believe that he is going to try to do away with term limits so that he can continue to be in, because he wants to be a dictator like Putin. Yeah. And then the fact of the matter is, I think if he gets back in, we may not have a United States of America throughout those 4 years, because with the division that we have and things that are going on, you have these countries that will just waltz in and just take us over. So as a military person, I'm really, really concerned about this, and that's how I look at it at a broad view.
So if he's reelected, how does that look?
Terrible.
I believe it's going to be one nation. That's what I feel. I don't think it's going to be China or it's going to be England. It's just going to be everybody under this dictatorship.
Yeah, and you know, Ms. Hurricane Curry, I agree with you, because when you talk one nation, what type of nation when you say that? Because when you talk about anybody that runs against Putin, he gets rid of. Anybody that runs against Jong-un, he gets rid of. Xing, you know, it's such these communist countries. So you really look at, and these folks that, I mean, these militias talking about, the ones that wanted to kidnap the government, talking about, well, we need to overthrow the government. What do you mean you need to overthrow the government? You know, you're talking about.
We got a phone call coming in.
Okay.
Hello, caller.
Yes, hi. This is Dr. Thomas. How are you?
All right. How you feeling tonight?
I'm doing great. I am so glad that you have Councilman Roy McAllister on tonight, and I want to commend him with his work that he's doing with his mental health task force. Yes. But I wanted to ask a question. Does he have any plans to work with the human trafficking task force and the survivors and providing any type of mental health services for them?
Yes. In fact, Doctor, thank you so much for that question. I've already been involved with that, with the human trafficking, because when you look at human trafficking, especially when we have like folks in Southwest Detroit, human trafficking, depending on what you're looking at, we're in the top 5 in the country as far as human trafficking. So yes, ma'am, I'm definitely looking at that. And, you know, when you talk about mental health, when you talk about youth, I mean, you have a lot of youth that are in school that the teachers don't even know they're involved with human trafficking. And that definitely takes a toll on their mental state, not only at that age, but what happens to them later on. So yes, ma'am, I really appreciate you asking that question. And yes, I have been involved with human trafficking even prior to me coming on council, because those things have been out there, and I've been talking to people. My wife, again, Dr. Polly McAllister, she gives seminars regarding human trafficking. So I am definitely involved with that. So I thank you so very much for that question.
Okay. And if anyone wants to be involved with your task force, for example, social workers or counselors like myself, because I actually have come to some of your events and spoken to people at roundtables. So how can someone else get involved if they wanted to help you with the task force?
Doctor, again, thank you so very much. And again, we just started, because of the pandemic, we just started our conferences, social discussion on the human mental illness. And we just started that yesterday, Thursday. We had a fantastic show. We had some disruption, but we are going on. But anyone who wants to get involved, please call area code 313-340-2073. That's 313-340-2073, and we would be love to get involved, because one of the things with the mental health task force, and that's one of the things I didn't mention, that what I'm trying to do is not only have this for this part of Detroit and South, but my objective is to bring it throughout all of Michigan, as well as have the federal government look at where we're doing it and take our template and take it throughout the country. Because mental health, it has no age, no race, no economic level, no social level, nothing. It hits. When it hits, it hits. And a lot of times I talk about the mental health I say mental health is life. Because there you may be going great in life, and there's something that can alter you, whether it be the death of a loved one, or your finances, or something that just tragic, just change your mindset, which can cause you to change from that healthy to that illness. So I said mental health is life, and anything that we go through, we deal with, is part of life. And that human trafficking that you're talking about is a big factor in that, because that's happening to our young people. And a lot of people think that it's happening to just our young ladies, but it's also happening to our young men as well. So it's a very much in that, Doctor. So, Doctor, I look forward to you coming on, because one of the things in 1990, we had Governor Engler, who did away with the actual facilities, and people are thinking that there are no facilities out there, but they are out there. People just don't know where to go and who to be referred to. So that's one of the things, and Doctor, that's why I welcome you to come on and be involved with this, because if somebody calls in, then I can say, oh, go to this person, let me refer you to this person, let me refer you to that person. Because I think collectively, if we work together, if a person is I mean, we're very transit now. My objective is, and I know that with HIPAA, we have laws as far as public information and all this other, so privacy information. Because what I would like to do is, if Roy McAllister lived in Detroit all his life, but then Roy McAllister decided to go to Washington, and nobody knows Roy McAllister, and I can't articulate what's wrong with me, I would like something to be put in where they can pull it up and find out who Roy McAllister's family is, who doctors is, what type of medication, how many treatments, what type of treatments he had. So that's something that I really want to push, and that's why I try to look at the federal government, because these are the measures that needs to be taken with that. So thank you so very much.
You're actually talking about electronic medical records.
Yes, ma'am.
Which can be transferred over as long as that
HIPAA
hospital organization has that system.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, I definitely agree with you, because fortunately, quite a few people that suffer from mental illness are actually homeless.
Yes, ma'am.
And they do travel. They get on the Greyhound bus and they go wherever they need to go.
Yes, ma'am.
And no record is following them. So I definitely agree with that. And I will call you off record and we can talk more. But Dre, thank you so much for having this discussion and bringing Councilman McAllister on.
No problem. Thank you for calling.
And doctor, one more thing I'd like to say, and I'm talking to the choir when I say this. The other thing with mental illness is substance abuse, because a lot of times people will over medicate themselves and then they become substance abuse addicted. So it's such a holistic issue with mental health, mental illness. I mean, that we have to target all of those actions and all of those features in that. So again, thank you so much, and I look forward to talking with you.
Hello? Oh, she already gone. Okay. Thank you for calling. That was a beautiful question. So next question I have for you. This court stacking thing in the Supreme Court. How do you really feel about that? If you have an opinion on it.
Is right now, Vice President candidate for President Joe Biden is saying that he's not going to comment on it because he wants to see how this whole thing is going to work out. And it's kind of like I'm the same way. And, I've stated that, on the one hand, like Mr. Lindsey Graham, on the one hand, when President Obama, who had 11 months to fill in the slot,
yes, sir,
they blocked it. This man has less than 6 weeks, and they're trying to push for him, so they're contradicting each other. So my thing is, okay, first of all, if the president is the person that should be picking it, then let that president appoint a person for that. If you want to change the rules and say, okay, in the president's last year or the year of the election, the president cannot, we will wait, then let's play some laws to say that. But don't be contradictory and like, oh, well, it's our party now, so we're going to do it. No, when it's your party, no, we're not going to do it. Right. So again, it's about the process of how we're looking at and we're handling all this stuff. And I'm kind of like Vice President Biden is like, let's see how they do this, because they're pushing the gate. And when you're talking about a Supreme Court justice, you're talking about not someone who's got to be going to be elected. You're talking about not anybody. They're there for life until they decide that enough is enough, or they die out of office, or something happens to indict them. Those are the only three ways that you can remove a federal judge. So so you're looking at John Roberts, who was actually the Chief Justice. He was in there when Reagan put him in there. How many presidents have we had since Reagan? And so we got to look at, these people are going to be there, that's going to affect my kids, your kids, grandkids. Yes, they're going to be here for a while. Sure. And so, we have to look at the process, and is it fair? Because this is all about the people. It is not about a party. It is not about one side. It's about making good selections for the people. So that's my opinion on that.
I'm glad you said it, because my thing with that is, like you said, when Obama could have done it, all hell broke loose.
Yes.
They lost their mind. He's evil. He's trying to dictate. But now it's cool because you had a gavel. And that's part of my problem with how this man has ran this country down.
Yes.
When you talk about making something great, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, when really can you say America was great for the black family?
That's what I was about to say.
So when you got all these radicals, and don't get me wrong, if you want to just vote for somebody because that's what you believe in, okay, I can't fault you for it. But if you're going to put out here, which is going to lead me to my next question, okay, he did the economy, he's this, he's that. You can't spend no damn money, Dad.
That's right.
You catch a virus, you can have the best flourishing business in the world.
Yeah.
You can't run a business 6 feet deep.
That's right.
You can't run a business in ICU.
That's true.
Or you can't spend money.
You see what I'm saying?
Or in the ICU.
Our infatuation with economy is kind of blowing me, because you're not talking about the health of these people.
Right.
You have people that's going to work, coming home, passing to their children. Which leads me to my next question. How do you feel? What's more important to you? Health or economy?
Health. Because if you don't have health, how are you going to spend the money in the economy? Yes. But then, when you look at it, economy means social engagement, social involvement.
Mm-hmm.
Health means individual people are making sure that they're healthy.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about health, you know, one of the things in my mental health is dealing with a food pharmacy. Because what I'm looking at, and we've all seen it, especially in the urban community.
Yes, sir.
They go to the local gas station. What do they come out with? Chips, pop, candy, snacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Honey
their breakfast. That's their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As opposed when you're talking about eating well. I mean, when I went to Cuba last year, it really showed how between Cuba and this pandemic, it really shows that how bad our health system really is. Because Cuba spends 50% of their national gross national product into health care. And they look at things and it's about health and taking care of the people. And so here we come in, and especially like I said, how many of us in the urban community not only not go biannually, but how many of us go annually to get a physical? How many of us do we have physicians? When the pandemic first came and hit Detroit, my district, 48235 and 48221 was the highest in the Michigan, highest in Detroit. Why is that? Because we have Sinai Grace, and everybody goes to Sinai Grace because when their health gets bad or something's wrong with them, they go there.
Yeah.
So then that's when a lot of these symptoms came out. So, you know, rather than going to your physician, finding out, hey, look, you need to do this is your health. You know, we don't do it until something it's just time for emergency.
Right.
So,
well, ladies and
I have
gentlemen,
a question.
I got to shoot this real quick.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching The Quarantine on WJZZ Cool TV, and you can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, all top social media platforms. And Miss Katrina, I'm shooting it back to you.
All right. So why aren't there any healthy snacks in the local gas stations or party stores? Why is it so many carbonated drinks, even if they do have apple juice? It's like 28 grams of sugar. Why can't it be apple juice with no sugar added? Like, is it the owners who go out and buy these things, or why can't we build a store for our community that have healthy food?
That's an excellent question, and it's about education. Because if a lot of our folks don't know about good, healthy foods, what are they going to buy?
Yeah.
And if mom, pops, brother, sister is saying, I'm going around and get me some chips, I'm going to get me some of them beef eaters and whatever, that's what you know.
Yeah.
But when you start looking at, when you go across 8 Mile, across 5 Points, they know about that.
Yeah.
And they don't have that. So it's mainly, I think it's about education. And then when you start educating people, then they're going to force those grocery stores, look, I need you to buy 100% orange juice, not no 10% orange juice with most of it is concentrated, you know. So that, I mean, that's an excellent question, but it's all about education.
Yeah, because even at the store they have inside of my job, it's like breakfast time. Where all the healthy food at? It's just all type of garbage.
Like if this is what we prefer, what they gonna put in there?
But everybody doesn't prefer that. I don't.
I mean, but you don't.
No.
But 20 people down the block might.
Right.
That's
you know what I'm
true.
saying?
That's so true.
So
They do.
because you might want to eat healthy,
yeah,
that person, and pimping over there, they want 50-cent juice or
That's
pop
true.
and a honey bun, something quick. So
but
I mean,
think it will decrease
it would.
diabetes, hypertension, a lot of obesity, especially within the youth.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
All right, so let's get to the drama. I know this is what y'all watching for, the bud. So I only really got one question about this Amazon thing. Why could we find an amusement park or a Kalahari or something like that?
You know, the state fair, let me say this. When the first month that I got elected, the first month, there were 2 brothers that came to me that were entrepreneurs, and they had this car industry called MIMS. MIMS was a car industry. What happened was they made the shell of the vehicle, and what they needed was to bring it over so that the transmission, the motor, all the electrical parts could be put in there. And so what they did was they looked at that, and they wanted a place where they could not only store it, but help build that. Again, I'm looking at two brothers. That's the first thing.
Right.
I'm also looking at, that's jobs for the citizens of Detroit. I'm also looking at, that's going to build up this area. That's going to make that eyesore with the state fairgrounds now usable.
Yes, sir.
So it's always, to me, been about how do we make it a multiple use, as far as not just saying, well, we need this, we need this. I mean, when we're talking about the high unemployment rate in the city of Detroit, when we talk about brothers as being businessmen, that's what I'm looking at. How do we help, again, how do we help the message, just like I said? So, you know, when I first started, and I worked from January to March, I set up the state with that. I set them up with the county. I set them up with investors. I set them up with the city. And we were all meeting. I mean, again, I'm just not getting into city council. So not only I'm trying to learn the ropes here, but I'm also working with, because after I left city council, I'm running around, walking these brothers around here, getting them, setting them up with meetings, talking. So I'm running. So it's not been about that. But to your question, Brother Dre, there was another group called the State Fair Development Coalition, which they had was called the Meta Expo. Okay. And the Meta Expo, I mean, they had talked about agriculture, technology, homes, and now business, you know, business and things of that nature. And I was working with them as well. Last year, in fact, when this station was being set up, we had a meeting right outside. I had several investors, bankers, people that were listening, and I had Meta Expo people to give their presentation to them. Nobody bit. Nobody bit. So nobody has come before the state fairgrounds to say, look, this is what we want to do. But those three, it's been mainly Magic Plus, who had it from the state since 2009. Right. Meta Expo, which is the State Fair Development Coalition, and MIMS. Those are the only three. Now you have, which is not really Amazon, who is purchasing, is Hillwood Investment out of Texas and Sterling Group out of Michigan. Right. They're going to buy the acres and they're going to lease it out to Amazon.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard that this is about jobs. So I don't know what y'all
complaining about.
Well, you know, and I'm gonna be, you know, their issue is not only is about jobs, but there's 1,200 jobs coming to Detroit, not Detroiters, to Detroit. Now I want to clarify that. But what we're doing is, what I'm working with is not only Detroit Works, so that they will have those applications and give them to Amazon, so Amazon to look at them and say, you know, we want a priority. But the folks are also saying, look, we need to put this in writing. Okay. Right. But see, my thing is also is we got Northland right across the way. We got property over in Highland Park right across the way. If that doesn't come here, we won't have that say-so as far as getting those jobs for Detroiters. Plus the fact there is no tax abatements. That's unheard of with Amazon. Right, because everywhere throughout the state of Michigan, they have received tax abatements. These tax abatements that they are not receiving means over the next 10 years, $43 million is going to be coming into Detroit. We know that we have home ownership, which is probably going to go into our next one. Yeah. There's a lack of home ownership, which means there's a lack of tax dollars coming into for services, accessories, parks, build-ups, all this stuff. So you're talking about something that's just the tip of it. That's just phase one. There's 2 other phases that's coming into this. So that's what I'm looking at, and that's what I'm saying. Look, let's get them in here. And now once we got them, let's move forward. Because there's some other things that's also incorporated with that. Okay.
Proposal in. Some people say it's proposal neighborhood. Some people say it's proposal no.
Yes.
My only question is, why this year? Was it something that had to be done this year, or is it a time limit on this, or what was it about having it being pushed this year?
What it was proposal N initially came out and the mayor wanted to put it on the March ballot because we had a Democratic primary in March.
Right.
So that was reason why they wanted to do that. Plus the fact they wanted to lock in the interest rates on the bonds that this is being for. And really it didn't pan out because, first of all, myself and a few others on city council said, we can't even get people to come to the regular August primary.
Right.
And so how are we going to make sure that people come to the March primary? That was one of the reasons. Also, we wanted to have say-so oversight in this because you're talking about tax deals, you're talking about the millage. And the millage is, and that's one of the things that people are talking about, the millage. The millage is how you collect dollars and how you collect taxes. So people are saying, well, if this is passed, then our taxes are going to be raised. No, it will not. The millage is at 9. If it is not passed, what happens is the millage would drop down to 6. And what you're going to do is the only thing you're going to be doing is saving about $29 a year. If the millage, if proposal N passes, then it remains at that level at 9% millage. That means that not only now are you going to deal with this eyesore that's next door to you, either to revitalize it, to bring home ownership in it, or to demolition it if it's a structure that cannot be saved, or to use some of the parts in there for other features. So these are the things. Plus the fact, because of the pandemic, unfortunately, but fortunately, now we got a lower interest rate. So those bonds are going to sell even higher. We also got the fact that means that our Detroiters, our minority contractors, are going to be involved in these contracts. That also means that that's going to be work for our Detroiters. Again, another. And I'm working with the laborers, the minority contracts to do some skilled trades in labor, because we got to look at it. We got a lot of returning citizens coming back also. And they need jobs just like our unemployment folks or people that want to change careers. Yeah. So these are all the things that I'm looking at with that. And so, you know, that's the issue with people are saying no or neighborhoods. I mean, technically, you got to look at how does this benefit? And that's the way I've always been, Dre. You know me. How does this benefit the majority, and how does this benefit our folks that live in the city of Detroit? And that's why I'm pushing proposal N.
Well, you just basically took my next question, so thank you. So, what happens if this does fail? I'm hearing that nothing will get torn down and things like that. And I have to ask, because this is what some people are saying, is that a scare tactic, or is that really?
Well, let's go back. Okay. Because one of the reasons why people are apprehensive about this, because there was $265 million that came out in the hardest hit funds.
Okay.
And there was some inappropriations of those funds. And that's another reason why I did not pass it in the first time, because I want to make sure, then that's why I talked about we need to have that oversight to make sure that we are seeing where those dollars are. Because if, again, going back to that $9 million, if that $9 million goes to $9.5 million, the federal government can increase. And let me pull that in too. Also with this proposal, that means that it's going to go on your taxes, which is already at the $9 million. It's not going to be increased. It's just going to go over a 30-year period. And a lot of people say, well, wait a minute. That's not going to affect me. That's going to affect my kids. But we're also talking about building up our communities to make your property taxes, property value go up. So that's what I'm looking at also. So it's also an issue where people are looking at how does it affect the people, and how do we have say so? Demolition. It used to be part of the Detroit Land Bank, which had a lot of issues to it. Now the demolition has come back to Detroit. So now it means that we have even more say so as far as those minority contractors in demolition getting those jobs. And so now we're talking about getting that at lowest range at that 30%, which means that they're going to go from $3 million now to $75 million in that. So these are all the issues that's involved with this as far as moving proposal N forward. Now, if it doesn't pass, yes, there probably will be some stagnation because we got to find those dollars.
Yes, sir.
But it also means that 9% is going to go down to 6%. and you're going to save that $29, but then what you got next door to you, and then how's your property value going to be? So we're going to look at it, and it's not a scare tactic. I mean, it's just reality. The dollars are not there because this area here, when I first got in, I had been pushing to get these areas in that State Fair, John R., Remington, Westminster area, because it looked like Beruta in there. You had tall grasses growing in there. Houses that's look like they've been burned out. Prostitution that's over there. And so I started beginning to get those houses to be torn down, and a lot of folks thanked me for that because they was like nobody was listening to them on this. So
we got a caller. Hello.
Yes, hi, this is Alex from over in Fitzgerald.
Hey, what's going on, Alex? How you feeling?
Oh, not too bad, thank you, Dre. Katrina, thanks for filling in. With best wishes, to Roz and her family. Thank you for hosting Councilman McAllister.
Yes,
Councilman, thank you so much for your time and, expertise and wisdom.
Thank you, Mr. Alex.
One of the things, just quickly, limited time, on the back end of the 30-year debt, as you say, for the mills, successful occupancy and restoration of the homes would allow us to renegotiate ahead of that 30-year debt, just like another refinance. I know Arthur and the planning department, have had some great lessons learned and can go forward, with that. So I just wanted to mention that and, your thoughts on that, too, regarding people's fears of the long-term debt. And then, two, I have confidence in you, obviously, but how are we going to be able to hold Amazon accountable, man? Their influence as far as workers' rights, man, I want to make sure we're protected. So thank you.
Alice, no, thank you for that. And to answer your first question, when we talk about the going forward as far as the proposal in the 30-year, one of the things that we're looking at is they're trying to work on some measures for that. But the overall is that it's about building up the property value. And that's the main thing with that. And your second question was, and I should have wrote it down.
How to hold Amazon accountable.
Yeah, how to hold Amazon accountable. One of the things Amazon has been throughout the state, Hillswood Investment and Sterling Group are the ones that's really dealing with that. Let me give a little education about that. When Amazon comes into town, what Amazon does is they will pick a group like Hillswood and like Sterling Group to handle the business for them, and they step back. Again, we got them in Novi, we got them in Shelby Township, we got them throughout the state. So this already about that. What I've done is myself and member Scott Benson have talked to the people within this community here that it impacts. And what we've done is present a resolution for some of the issues like the emissions, like the noise, like the traffic that's going down, like getting them jobs. The $15 a job, $15 an hour is already in Amazon's corporate SOP, if I may say, standard operations procedures.
Okay.
So that's already there. My best friend owns his own distribution, which is another reason about Amazon, because you can become your own entrepreneur. He is one of those that does that. And he said what Amazon has pushed on them is that they will start looking at carbon and regulating things starting between 2025 and 2040. Okay. So they're already looking at that. To answer Alice's questions, what I'm doing is putting a lot on Hillswood and Sterling Group because they're the ones that's really going to be leasing out. And I look at it like this. If you're a homeowner and you rent your house out, when the neighbors call up, they don't deal with the people that you rented out to. They deal with you.
Right.
And that's what I'm putting on Hillswood and Sterling Group to say, look, these are the things that we want. And these are the things that you need to be making sure that Amazon, they've got a great working relationship. Again, you have to understand that Amazon, everywhere else that they've went, they've never received tax abatements on this. Everywhere else, they've gotten something that they want. They're paying full value, and that's another issue. We have a group that's saying, well, what is the there's not a good fair price. Well, when the city bought the state fairgrounds from when the city bought it from the state, They paid $7 million for it. It was appraised at $6.5 million. They paid $7 million. In the 2018 appraisal, excuse me, it was valued at $8 million. They're selling it for $9 million. Plus, there's another additional $7 million that they're bringing in to build a transportation center, so people don't have to sit out there in the cold. And also, the traffic is going to be redirected, so it's not going up and down State Fair. The trucks and buses are not going up and down the street, but they're mainly going to be going at 8 Mile and Woodward. So all this is what we're doing to say we're holding, with myself, with the resolution, me and Member Benson saying, look, Hillwood, Sterling Group, this is what we want y'all to hold Amazon to.
Okay.
So I hope that answers, Alex, I hope that answers your question, sir. I know you're not on, but
I think he's gone.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that I'm trying to answer it the best I can.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, you have been watching The Quarantine on WJZZ Cool TV. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, and all top social media platforms. We have about 4 minutes left. So, any closing words? First off, you got anything to say about speed bumps? Oh, we'll wait till another time. We'll wait till another time. You got anything you want to say before we close out?
Well, the speed cushions. The mayor has agreed to $11 million for speed cushions to come out, but they will not come out until next year. And they're looking at like about 643 per district, depending on, that's the average. But I just want to thank you both for allowing me the opportunity to come out. This is such an honor to me, especially to be in y'all's presence.
It's an honor to be in your
presence.
Right.
It's just, no, it really is, because I always say that, no matter what, if we can all bring our minds together and we can talk, it's about educating people and trying to give people the best information there is. And there's been great questions, great dialogue, and I look forward to coming back.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm going to have to have you on my show.
I'll be more than happy, more than happy.
Can you get him on soon?
Oh,
before the election?
Of course.
I'll be more than happy.
All right.
Yes.
Katrina, you got a couple minutes? Anything you want to say?
Well, I did have some questions, but we don't have time for those questions, so I'll hold them until you come to my show.
Okay, then.
But it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I can't wait to see you again. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm just in awe over here.
Well,
Dre, thank you so very much, sir,
yes.
For allowing me the opportunity. I really appreciate you, son.
No, thank you.
Yes.
As somebody that I'm sure I've given you a few headaches over the last few years.
Sons do that to their fathers.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. I really appreciate it. This is an experience and something I could have never even dreamed of doing, and I mean, I thank you for it, because without you and God, I wouldn't even be in this position.
And I also want to say, you getting ready to graduate from the Michigan Leadership Political.
Yeah.
Also,
that's
I got to put that plug in there too.
That's coming up soon. Also, I did just get accepted to another cohort called National Leadership Council.
All right,
so that's something else I'm doing.
Good. On the move. I'm
trying. Look, I told you I'm trying to get there.
Mr. Katrina, he's on the move.
I see.
And I know you are too. You got that hurricane coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do. We trying to bring it together. Millennial Roundtable. We talked about it earlier. That will be Thursday night. Hit me up for the link. We're gonna have some different people on there with different views. We're gonna be talking about the election. I got a Republican coming.
Okay.
Everybody that's a Republican don't like Donald Trump. So I advise you tune in. It's gonna be hot. Last parting shots.
Even if they do like Donald Trump, come on, let's change their mind. Let us change their mind.
All right.
A week before this election, I don't know how much minds we gonna change because the jury's out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again.
Thank you.
Councilman McAllister, thank you
so much.
Katrina, thank you for coming
Thank you.
Hey, it's another quarantine. This, you know what it is. This is how we do. Every Friday, it's the quarantine. If you ain't doing nothing else, come quarantine with us. Come check us out. It's the vibe. We trying to do great things. You see who we bring in here. Great content. And we out. Oh, I got another minute? One more minute? Hey, he said I got 1 minute. I ain't never been told I got 1 more minute. Y'all got something y'all want to say for another minute? Look, we going to try to get back to the proposal in. Look, you can only talk about so much in an hour.
Yeah.
So, to all y'all crazy people out there that think that this was done on purpose, see me in the streets. So, no, I ain't going to say that. Don't see me in the streets. I'm trying to change a new leaf. Again, thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you.
This has been great. We're gonna get this man back again. Are you running for something again sometime soon?
Not until next year.
And what is that?
City Council.
I got petitions. Sign these petitions. Ladies and gentlemen, we out.